The automotive world is full of bold ideas, but not every innovation hits the mark. From quirky gadgets and bizarre designs to futuristic concepts ahead of their time, some car features promised to revolutionize driving, but ended up as spectacular failures. These are the stories of ambition gone wrong, vehicles and innovations that confused, disappointed, or even endangered drivers. So, join us again to explore the 25 old car innovations that failed miserably. When Ford unveiled the Edsel in 1957, it was marketed as the future of automotive design, promising innovation, luxury, and performance to middle-class American buyers. The reality, however, was far less glamorous.
One of the most hated cars in the automotive world, the Ford Edsel. Look at that face. That is a face not even Mama could love.
Its polarizing grille, awkward styling, and overhyped marketing alienated consumers, while mechanical issues and delayed production tarnished its reputation before it even hit the streets. The Edsel's failure became a cautionary tale in automotive history, costing Ford approximately $250 million, a staggering sum in the 1950s. Despite ambitious features like push-button controls, multiple engine options, and innovative suspension systems, public perception doomed the car. Today, the Ford Edsel is remembered not as a groundbreaking vehicle, but as an iconic example of how overconfidence, misreading the market, and poor execution can sink even the most ambitious automotive projects. Introduced as part of the Ford Edsel's futuristic appeal, the Teletouch gear shift was a push-button transmission system mounted in the steering wheel hub. Conceptually, it promised convenience and a modern driving experience, but in practice, it was plagued by reliability issues and mechanical failures. Many drivers found the interface confusing, as accidental gear changes occurred when the buttons were pressed unintentionally.
What was that called again? I've forgotten. The Touchtronic?
Oh, Teltouch.
What?
Teltouch.
Teltouch. Wow.
Teltouch, yeah.
Lovely.
Maintenance was costly and complicated, further frustrating owners. The Teletouch system became symbolic of the Edsel's broader failures, demonstrating that innovation without practicality can backfire. Despite its failure, the system is remembered as an ambitious experiment in automotive control design, representing a rare attempt to rethink gear selection in a time when column and floor-mounted shifters dominated the industry. When mechanical quirks ruin a car, it makes one wonder, what about the truly bizarre features like a Rolls-Royce with a rear-seat toilet? In the 1950s, some luxury car buyers sought absolute convenience, leading to the creation of a custom-built Rolls-Royce with an unexpected feature, a rear-seat toilet. While technically functional, the device emptied directly onto the road, raising obvious sanitary, legal, and social concerns. The toilet's impracticality made it more of a novelty than a usable innovation, and it quickly became infamous as one of automotive history's most absurd ideas. Although it showcased Rolls-Royce's willingness to indulge eccentric client requests, the feature highlighted the limits of customization when practicality is ignored.
This is essentially the Phantom of 20 years ago. This was the most opulent, extravagant luxury car of 1996.
Today, the Rolls-Royce toilet is remembered humorously, illustrating how even a luxury marque can misjudge the line between extravagance and absurdity, creating an innovation that was technically possible but universally impractical. In the mid-1950s, Chrysler aimed to revolutionize in-car entertainment by installing a vinyl record player directly in their vehicles. The concept promised drivers the ability to enjoy music on the go, a novel idea in an era when car radios were still basic. However, real-world implementation revealed major flaws. The vibrations and bumps of typical road surfaces caused the needle to skip constantly, rendering the device frustrating rather than enjoyable. Additionally, limited track selections and the fragile nature of records further reduced its appeal. Consumers quickly lost interest, and the feature was abandoned within a short period.
The biggest problem with a record player in a moving vehicle is vibration, which is going to cause the records to skip horribly.
Today, the in-car vinyl player is remembered as a bold yet impractical attempt at automotive luxury, highlighting the risks of introducing complex entertainment tech without accounting for everyday usability. In the 1990s, Bose developed an electromagnetic suspension system for the Lexus LS 400, aiming to redefine ride comfort with precision-controlled shocks.
The Lexus LS 400 wasn't the first Japanese luxury car, but a relentless search for perfection and resulting sales success made it the class benchmark.
The system used advanced sensors and electromagnetic actuators to provide unmatched smoothness over uneven roads, theoretically surpassing conventional hydraulic suspensions. While technically impressive, it was prohibitively expensive and added significant weight to the vehicle, making mass production economically unfeasible.
You should be able to build a car that basically flies along the ground, stays level all the time. So when you get to a bumpy road, it should stay level, and when you turn and brake, it should stay level.
The system's complexity also raised concerns about long-term maintenance and reliability. As a result, despite glowing reviews from engineers and automotive enthusiasts, it never reached mainstream adoption. Today, the Bose suspension system is remembered as an innovative but commercially impractical experiment, exemplifying how groundbreaking technology can fail when cost, weight, and serviceability outweigh its advantages. During the 1930s, automotive engineers experimented with a fifth wheel concept, designed to make parking easier. This mechanism involved an additional wheel mounted perpendicular to the main axles, allowing vehicles to move laterally into tight spaces, a precursor to modern sideways parking innovations. Despite its clever engineering, the system proved too costly to manufacture and added mechanical complexity that few consumers wanted to pay for.
With new cars getting bigger and parking spaces getting smaller, at Piedmont, California, an inventor has developed something to soothe the motorist's headache by putting the spare tire to work.
It also increased vehicle weight and maintenance requirements, making it impractical for widespread adoption. While the concept demonstrated impressive foresight, it was ahead of its time, and manufacturers quickly abandoned it. Today, fifth-wheel parking is remembered as a fascinating but failed innovation, illustrating the challenges of balancing mechanical ingenuity with real-world practicality in early automotive design. When mechanical parking aids fail, how safe could a three-wheeled motorcycle-style car like the Scott Sociable really be? In the early 1920s, the Scott Sociable attempted to combine the efficiency of a motorcycle with the comfort of a car by using a three-wheeled design. The vehicle featured a single front wheel for steering and two rear wheels for stability, but this unconventional layout proved highly unstable, especially at higher speeds or on uneven roads. Drivers frequently reported difficulty maintaining control, and accidents were not uncommon. The lightweight frame and minimal suspension exacerbated the handling issues, making it unsuitable for everyday transportation. Production ceased in 1925 after only a few hundred units were built. Today, the Scott Sociable is remembered as an ambitious but flawed experiment in early automotive design, illustrating the perils of radical departures from conventional vehicle engineering. The Triumph TR7, launched in 1975, was intended to rejuvenate the British sports car market, but it quickly became a textbook example of an automotive flop.
The oil crisis had left America with 2 million unsold cars. Launching Britain's sporty TR7 there was perhaps a touch optimistic. Nevertheless, British Leyland hoped to sell 12,000.
Marketed with the bold slogan, "The shape of things to come," its wedge-shaped design divided opinion, with many criticizing it as unattractive and uninspiring compared to earlier Triumph models. The car was further undermined by poor build quality, frequent mechanical failures, and underwhelming performance from its 2.0-liter engine. Production strikes and quality control issues at British Leyland factories worsened its reputation. Despite selling over 100,000 units, the TR7 became synonymous with the decline of the British car industry. Instead of signaling the future, It highlighted the struggles of a once proud automaker collapsing under mismanagement. In 1967, American Motors Corporation introduced the Amatron, an electric car concept that was strikingly ahead of its time. Designed as a compact urban vehicle, it featured dual 60-volt batteries and lightweight construction.
It is the concept Electron/Amatron. It was developed by American Motors jointly with Goulton Industries, a battery company, back in the late 60s as an electric commuter car.
Promising efficiency and low emissions decades before electric cars became mainstream. The Amatron included innovative design elements such as regenerative braking and modular battery packs, but the limitations of 1960s battery technology, low energy density and short range, made it impractical for real-world use. Additionally, infrastructure for charging electric vehicles was non-existent, further reducing its feasibility. Despite the ambitious vision, AMC shelved the project and the Amatron never reached production. Today, it is celebrated as a visionary concept that anticipated future electric vehicle trends while highlighting early technological constraints. The Bricklin SV1 was marketed as a revolutionary safety-focused sports car in the mid-1970s, featuring gull-wing doors, impact-absorbing bumpers, and innovative design elements intended to protect occupants.
This is done for safety so that in a side impact, that frame would protect the driver and the passenger.
Despite these ambitious goals, the car struggled with serious quality control issues, including poor panel alignment, leaking seals, and unreliable mechanical components. Its performance also disappointed enthusiasts, with underpowered engines failing to match the sports car aesthetics. Production delays and high costs further reduced market appeal. Only a few thousand units were built before the company folded. Today, the Bricklin SV1 is remembered as an ambitious but commercially disastrous attempt to merge safety and exotic styling, demonstrating that innovation alone cannot compensate for engineering and production flaws. When quality control fails, is it any surprise that cars like the Ford Pinto become infamous for safety hazards? Launched as an affordable subcompact, the Ford Pinto became infamous for its dangerous fuel tank design, which made it vulnerable to rear-end collisions. Investigations revealed that cost-cutting decisions led to minimal reinforcements, and the company's initial reluctance to recall affected vehicles resulted in numerous lawsuits.
Briefly, we discovered that high-level Ford engineers learned in pre-production crash tests they order a recall of all pre-1977 Pintos for retrofitting of safer fuel tanks.
Despite selling reasonably well initially, public outrage over safety defects and negative media coverage severely damaged Ford's reputation. The Pinto eventually underwent recalls and modifications.
2 years ago, Ford recalled 1.5 million Pintos, but so far only half that number have had the defect corrected.
But the scandal overshadowed its intended role as a practical, economical car. Today, the Ford Pinto serves as a case study in automotive safety failures, corporate ethics, and the consequences of prioritizing cost savings over consumer protection, highlighting how design flaws can lead to catastrophic commercial and legal consequences. The Yugo GV was introduced to the U.S. as a low-cost, entry-level vehicle promising affordability and simplicity. Initially, it attracted attention for its extremely low price.
Comes to building tough, dependable cars at America's most affordable prices, Yugo leads the way. Others are trying to follow but can't match Yugo's reliability for the price.
But critics quickly pointed out severe deficiencies in build quality, reliability, and performance. Engines were underpowered, suspensions were rudimentary, and corrosion was rampant, causing widespread dissatisfaction among owners. The car became synonymous with cheap, poorly made imports, and dealerships often struggled to sell replacement parts or service vehicles adequately. Despite aggressive marketing, the Yugo GV was discontinued in 1992 after failing to establish a lasting foothold in the American market.
With Jeff, I have no idea. He goes, Jay, I got something special. I got something special. This will be cool. So he shows up with this 1988 Yugo GVS.
Today, it is remembered as one of the most notorious examples of import failures, illustrating that price cannot compensate for engineering shortcomings. Launched as a small, stylish European compact, the Renault Dauphine initially gained popularity for its affordability and economy. However, mechanical unreliability quickly tarnished its reputation, with weak engines, transmission failures, and poor durability becoming common complaints. In export markets like the United States, the Dauphine struggled against more robust domestic competitors, and its low resale value reflected widespread dissatisfaction. Renault attempted incremental improvements, but by the mid-1960s, sales were in sharp decline, and production ended in 1967.
Over here is the Renault Dauphine. Now, the Renault Dauphine is a very interesting small car which I just stumbled across recently, guys, in this state.
Today, the Dauphine is remembered as a car that looked appealing on paper but failed in practical terms, illustrating the risks of launching innovative small cars without sufficient attention to reliability and real-world usability. In the post-war era, the Crossley Hotshot emerged as one of America's smallest sports cars, aiming to deliver efficiency and affordability. Despite its innovative compact design and lightweight construction, it suffered from significant shortcomings. The Hotshot's two-cylinder engine produced minimal power, limiting both speed and performance, while the cramped interior sacrificed comfort for its microcar dimensions. Handling was tricky on uneven roads, and many consumers found it underwhelming compared to more conventional sports cars. Although its low price attracted budget-conscious buyers, the vehicle could not overcome its mechanical limitations and niche appeal. By 1952, Crossley discontinued the Hotshot.
Steve here with the GR Auto Gallery, and today we're going to take this 1952 Crossley Hotshot for a little test drive. We're just going to see how it goes down the road and make sure everything's working as it should.
Today, it is remembered as an ambitious but impractical microcar, demonstrating that extreme downsizing without adequate performance can doom even the most creative automotive designs. The Overland Octo Auto was a bold but ill-fated attempt to revolutionize passenger transport in the early automotive era. Featuring 8 wheels to improve stability and load-bearing capacity, it was intended to provide a smoother and safer ride. In practice, the complex design made the vehicle cumbersome, heavy, and difficult to maneuver. Steering 8 wheels proved challenging, and maintenance requirements were extraordinarily high, deterring potential buyers. Production costs were exorbitant, and the Octo Auto failed to attract enough customers to justify continued manufacturing. Only a handful were ever built. Today, the Overland Octo Auto is remembered as an over-engineered curiosity, a testament to early automotive experimentation that prioritized novelty over practicality, ultimately proving that innovation must align with usability to succeed commercially. In 1913, the Scripps booth by AutoGo attempted to merge the novelty of motorcycles with the stability of automobiles by featuring 6 wheels and a unique forward design.
This is our 1913 Scripps Booth by AutoGo Super Sport. And if that name sounds a little bit extra, it's because it's a little extra, frankly.
The ambitious vehicle included a powerful V8 engine and could achieve impressive speeds for the era, but it was extremely difficult to handle and highly unstable at corners. Its enormous size, unconventional layout, and poor maneuverability made daily driving impractical, while production costs rendered it prohibitively expensive. Only a single prototype is believed to have survived. Today, the by AutoGo is remembered as one of the most eccentric early automotive experiments, illustrating how pushing engineering boundaries without sufficient consideration for usability and safety can lead to spectacular commercial failure. When Fiat introduced the Multipla in 1998, it was marketed as a versatile family car with seating for 6 in a compact footprint. While its innovative interior layout maximized passenger space, the exterior design divided opinion.
Is a 1998 Fiat Multipla, and it is incredibly weird. Mostly it's incredibly weird looking, which is a different way of saying that it is.
The bulbous, top-heavy proportions and unusual styling made it a frequent target of ridicule, overshadowing its practical strengths. Mechanically, it was reliable and efficient, but the polarizing aesthetics discouraged many buyers. Despite improvements in later generations, the Multipla struggled to maintain appeal in a market increasingly focused on sleek, modern designs. Production ended in 2010 after 12 years. Today, the Fiat Multipla is remembered more for its quirky appearance than its engineering, serving as a cautionary example of how unconventional styling can alienate potential customers. If style divides opinion, can uniquely shaped compact cars like the Nissan Cube appeal to mainstream buyers? The Nissan Cube was introduced as a compact, urban-friendly vehicle emphasizing interior space, fuel efficiency, and practicality.
We're guessing you're either thinking, Nissan Cube, what an ugly little pile of crap these things are, or you're thinking, Nissan Cube.
Its standout feature was the boxy, asymmetrical design, which created a spacious and configurable cabin. While innovative, the exterior styling polarized consumers. Some appreciated the quirky, playful look, while many considered it unattractive and unconventional. Performance was adequate but unremarkable, and driving dynamics could not compensate for the divisive appearance. Though it enjoyed a niche following in Japan and select international markets, the Cube never achieved mass market success.
Nissan is recalling approximately 46,000 of its Cube models following a government test that shows excessive fuel spillage that occurs in rear-end collisions.
Production continued until 2015, but sales were always limited. Today, the Nissan Cube is remembered as a bold experiment in maximizing interior space within a small footprint, but one hindered by aesthetics that failed to resonate widely. Plymouth's Prowler was conceived as a retro-styled roadster inspired by hot rods of the 1930s, boasting an eye-catching design with exposed front wheels and aggressive lines. Despite its striking looks, the Prowler was plagued by shortcomings. Its 3.5-liter V6 engine produced modest power, and performance could not match its exotic appearance. The car also offered minimal practicality, with a cramped interior, limited trunk space, and a firm ride that compromised comfort. Production costs were high, and the car appealed primarily to enthusiasts seeking style over substance.
So a lot of the Prowler came from the Chrysler parts bin, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because it had to. If they wanted to make it look like this, they had to keep costs down somewhere.
By 2002, sales had dwindled, and Chrysler discontinued the Prowler. Today, it is remembered as a visually iconic but commercially unsuccessful vehicle, exemplifying how extreme styling and limited practicality can undermine an otherwise attention-grabbing innovation. In the early 2000s, Chevrolet launched the SSR, a retro-styled convertible pickup truck combining nostalgic design with modern functionality. While its retractable hardtop and bold styling turned heads, the vehicle was plagued by performance and pricing issues. Powered by a modest V8 engine in its early models, the SSR struggled to deliver the power expected of a pickup.
Nonetheless, I've always wanted to check one of these out because it's just so unique, so unusual, so weird, so unlike anything else that was being made by General Motors at the time.
While its price tag of over $42,000 limited its appeal. Handling was adequate but not sporty, and interior space was compromised by its convertible mechanism. Despite aggressive marketing and attention-grabbing aesthetics, consumer interest remained low, and production ceased in 2006 after just 3 years. Today, the Chevrolet SSR is remembered as a visually striking yet commercially unsuccessful attempt to merge the characteristics of a truck and a sports car. The Mitsuoka Galue was a Japanese luxury sedan that embraced retro European styling, drawing inspiration from Rolls-Royce and Jaguar models. It intended to combine nostalgic design with modern Japanese reliability, creating a niche luxury experience. However, while Galu's handcrafted touches and unique aesthetics appealed to a small group of enthusiasts, it failed to capture a broader customer base. The unusual styling was polarizing.
So today we're going to learn about Mitsuoka, the JDM brand you might not have heard of before, and we're going to take a look around the Vute that's behind me here, and then we're going to determine if it's worth investing some money into.
And its relatively modest performance did not justify the premium price for most buyers.
It's a really weird total vehicle package that, believe it or not, you can actually still buy brand new today in Japan.
Sales were consistently low throughout its production run, leading Mitsuoka to maintain it as a boutique offering rather than a mass-market vehicle. Today, the Galue is remembered as a bold design experiment with limited commercial success, appealing mainly to collectors and niche enthusiasts.
Everyday driver as well as a car enthusiast. And the enthusiast crowd on this car is a little bit more limited. It's a very select appeal that the car has on the enthusiast side.
The DeLorean DMC-12, produced between 1981 and 1983, is one of the most infamous automotive failures despite its cult status today.
My name is Gary. This is my 1981 DeLorean DMC-12. I've had it about 2 years. It's only done 6,000 miles from new.
With its stainless steel body and gull-wing doors, it looked futuristic, but the engineering failed to live up to the hype. Its underpowered 2.85-liter V6 engine delivered sluggish performance.
The car is from Ireland in 81. The car's Irish 81. But now it's powered not by an Irish engine, it's powered by a PRV engine.
Especially compared to its sports car rivals. Quality control issues plagued production, and the car's high price tag deterred buyers. The downfall was accelerated by the financial troubles of DeLorean Motor Company and John DeLorean's legal controversies. Only about 9,000 units were made before production halted.
The 1981 DeLorean DMC-12, bought it about 2 years ago from Virginia Beach. Pretty much bought it in this condition. I've done some things like repaint the black of the fascia there.
Though immortalized in Back to the Future, the DMC-12 is remembered more for its ambitious design and dramatic failure than for automotive success. The Marcos Mantis emerged in the mid-1990s as a British attempt to produce a small, stylish sports car with distinctive lines and lightweight construction.
But today, I've managed to get two 1990s British V8 sports cars side by side.
Built with a focus on performance and handling, it featured a fiberglass body over a steel chassis, aiming to attract enthusiasts seeking a niche driving experience.
Fiberglass body, Rover V8 powered, rear-wheel drive, back to basics British sports cars. But they're actually very, very different.
However, Marcos faced severe financial difficulties and production challenges, including inconsistent build quality and limited manufacturing capacity. High costs and low brand recognition further limited sales, preventing the Mantis from gaining traction in a competitive sports car market dominated by more established European manufacturers. By 2000, the model was discontinued.
Opting for a steel frame chassis much, much later on. But they were pioneers in what they decided to do, and they had fantastic success out on the race circuit.
Today, the Marcos Mantis is remembered as an ambitious but commercially unsuccessful British sports car, illustrating the risks small automakers face in balancing innovation, quality, and financial viability. In 1958, Ford unveiled the futuristic Nucleon concept, imagining a car powered by a small nuclear reactor.
Ford has just announced its new vehicle, the Ford Nucleon. What this means to us.
Designed to eliminate the need for gasoline, the Nucleon promised decades of range and unprecedented energy independence.
Is that we'll be able to drive an atomic-powered car. This means that we'll be able to get 5,000 miles. Let me say that again, ladies and gentlemen, 5,000 miles per charge.
While the concept captured the imaginations of the time during the atomic age, it faced insurmountable technological and safety hurdles. Miniaturizing a nuclear reactor for vehicle use was far beyond the capabilities of the era, and public concern over radiation hazards made the idea unpalatable. The car never progressed beyond a clay model and concept sketches, serving instead as a symbol of Cold War-era optimism and audacious futurism. Today, the Ford Nucleon is remembered as one of the most imaginative yet impractical automotive concepts.
Everybody with a brain knows the damage that nuclear power causes. You went to the testing site, you saw firsthand what it could do. It was exciting.
Reflecting the era's fascination with nuclear power. The Pitts Sky Car, designed by aviation pioneer John W. Pitts in 1924, attempted to merge automotive and aerial mobility with a radical vertical takeoff concept. Equipped with a 60-blade rotor system, the vehicle aimed to lift off vertically like a helicopter, representing a bold exploration of hybrid transport. Despite its ingenuity, the prototype failed to achieve sustained flight, managing only brief hopping movements. Structural instability, insufficient lift, and control challenges rendered the concept unworkable, and no further development occurred. While it never entered production or practical use, the Pitts Sky Car is remembered as a daring but ultimately failed experiment at the intersection of automotive and aviation innovation, highlighting the challenges of translating visionary engineering into functional reality.